Wait.
Hey y'all, Kensei here. Holy schnitzel, I love Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 3. No, like, seriously, it was that good. What a truly bittersweet ending to one of my favorite shows, if not my favorite show, yeah, I said it, of all time. Now, of course, y'all already know, we're gonna get into spoilers, as I said at the beginning of the video, and where the Miyagi-verse could go from here, because y'all already know, it ain't over yet, for sure. I feel like down the line, there's still a lot of potential. It's just, damn, I truly can't believe it's over. Feels like I lost a family member or something. Anyway, to get into it with y'all, part 3 was amazing, and it drops you smack down with Kwan's funeral, which of course was our last cliffhanger. We see our characters move along with their lives about 1 month after the Sekai Tekai, and everyone is grieving in their own ways after what happened. And, you know, we find our characters wanting to continue the Sekai Tekai so we could get our champions. Now, y'all already know, of course, they find a way to bring the Sekai Tekai tournament back so, you know, we could get our overall winners. And to really go into it, to start off with this final part, the overall performances, when I tell you everyone delivered, everyone delivered. Like, William Zabka, Ralph Macchio, Sholo, Mary, Tanner, Jacob, Peyton, like, they all went in, they all did a phenomenal job, and it's some of their best acting and some of their best work in the show. Like, everybody gets their, you know, moment to shine finally one more time, and like, kudos to them, man. Like, literally the best cast. Like, they get their flowers for sure. Now, to start with any drama revolving this, you know, tournament, to talk about it real quick, I know people have their different opinions of who deserved to win the tournament, and while everyone may not like the decisions that they make, you know, not all fans are going to be pleased, but I love that Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do are basically forever intertwined with each other, as they have been the last like 40 plus years. At the end of the day, like, it's a team up, y'all. It's Johnny and Daniel basically going their separate ways with their dojo, and, you know, still being cool with each other. And I really like that. It was basically like a avenging Miyagi-Do storyline. Like, it was literally Rocky IV, like the classic revenge. It was this person, you know, getting revenge for this person, and this person fighting for this person, and they just handle it so well. Y'all already know I was gonna get into it, not just one but both of my glorious kings, Miguel Diaz and Robbie Keane, and I know people whine all over the internet going back and forth which one is better, you know, between the two. And yeah, while Miguel is my favorite character, bro, like, both, like, they're both so good. They're both my boys, and, you know, one of my favorite duos ever. It's okay to like both. You'll survive. And to go back to that Rocky IV reference, I love that Miguel's motivation for fighting in Cobra Kai and taking over is, once again, not because of Stanford, not because he needs college. You know, that is a poor motivation, but once again, to get revenge for his brother, to get revenge for Robbie, and of course, that makes it more personal, and it makes it feel more real, and it makes his win feel more rewarding in the long run. And like, it was just handled so well. And, you know, both of them, you know, Robbie goes out swinging like a G, and Miguel is obviously crowned victorious of our new champion. Like, I cannot wait to watch it 20 more times. Our villains, of course, were handled once again pretty good. Some of Kreese's best stuff and my favorite stuff before, you know, in this part, scene between him and Johnny, once again, really, that broke me. Like, Cobra Kai, like, episode 13 was literally like a crying streak. Like, there were like 3 or 4 moments where I was just getting teary-eyed in this episode, and I'm like, bro, my eyes are redder than the freaking red mats that they fought on. Like, gee, I'm like, and we still have 2 episodes left. Like, relax, please. But yeah, bro, William Zabka, Marty Cove, shout out to them. They killed it. That Williams got to get some type of Emmy for that, because his work was just so well done. And yeah, Kreese, he was definitely up there for one of my, favorite villains for this part. He got that classic Darth Vader Hollywood redemption. So I really loved what they did with him. Terry Silver with Wolf and the Iron Dragons once again felt like a real threat, just like in part 2. And you really, really feel that. And what Axel is forced to do, as we know. And Terry, once again, he absolutely needed to be in this part. And he's been switching dojos like a jealous ex since part 2. Sensei Wolf really feels like a real unit, and a real like abusive, like the guy is crazy. Like, he's a crazy sensei. Now, to tie in with the Iron Dragons, those fights, just to first start off with Tori and Zara, and my gosh, that was one for the book. And Tori got to beat the brakes off of Zara, and the final kick that she uses is, oh my gosh, like her final move is sick. Like, it's really sick. Tori has definitely crowned herself as the new, not only Queen Cobra, but I feel like Tooth Fairy, if we will, of this damn Miyagi verse. Straight up knockout. It was hella sick. And then the Miguel versus Axel one was very inspirational and motivating. But if we really want to talk about it, the weights of the fight with Miguel and Axel and Johnny and Wolf, they really got me amped. The callbacks, the musics, the music, the shots, everything was handled great. But if I'm being honest, if we're to go to any like favorite Cobra Kai or Miyagi-Do, whatever, versus Iron Dragons fight, I would probably have to go with Robbie versus Axel. That fight was definitely my favorite. It set a new bar for a locked in Robbie, because in the second round, we've never really seen him fight like that. Like, with the elbows and the way he was like going at it with his blows. Both Tanner Buchanan has this physicality to basically pull things off the wall and go crazy. And, while Robbie does get done dirty, he was catching up. And I feel like if it wasn't for the obvious Silver and Wolf telling him to, knee snap, I genuinely feel like Robbie could have locked in more, and he probably would have been able to beat Axel. But it is what it is. And even though his injury hurts, my boy Robbie went out swinging like a G. But overall, that was probably some of my favorite stuff from the part, just like Miyagi-Do, Cobra Kai, and the Iron Dragons, with all these twists and turns and characters and the fights and everything coming together. It was just like, chef's kiss. But if we're obviously going to go into some negatives or things they could have done better, of course, I think where most people can agree is we needed a little bit more for Hawk and Sam. Even though both of their endings were pretty satisfying in the long run, I feel like they could have added a little bit more for them at the end of the day. At least the Binary Bros are going to college together. Binary Bro spinoff, please, y'all win. Now, while we obviously don't know exactly, where Sam is what she's gonna fully do in Okinawa, there's groundwork right there for where they could take her. Like, all of the characters pretty much end up in a good place, and that's what I really like. It's bittersweet. But of course, this little set right here, this little place in the video, was more about negative, so let's get back into it. While we obviously knew Kreese and Silver were gonna go out in some way, shape, or form, this was it for them. I still don't know how to feel about the way they went out specifically. It was crazy in the moment, of course, with the explosion on the boat and everything. But I find it kind of weird that Johnny, Tori, or no one, basically no one knew about their deaths. It was kind of like crazy enough, like it was a kept quiet situation, but they were kind of, of course, hinting like, oh yeah, this was the last time they were going to be able to see Kreese anyway. But Hey man, I would be interested, like, what was their reaction to that? Or, oh yeah, boat blows up out of nowhere in the valley, you know, in LA in the dang rivers. Like, what the hell happened to that? Anyway, but yeah, it's all good. And of course, Kreese went out like a G. You know, both of them, the two war vets. And yeah, man, those were two of our biggest villains and the entire franchise. And you know, once again, the explosion was pretty cartoony, but at the end of the day, it was pretty crazy to see. And I rather have that explosion than the, you know, so-called leaks of what was supposed to happen with the whole, you know, the All Valley arena blowing up. Thank goodness that didn't happen. Almost conclude the ending of the part. I loved how pretty much, once again, all of our characters got good bittersweet endings. And speaking of good endings, the Chosen and Kim, you know, reunion at the end, that dojo is gonna be OP as heck. The potential is actually crazy for both of them because once again, you got Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do forever intertwined. You got Balance and No Mercy. And you know, Chosen's basically, you know, he's never stopped training since he was a kid. And Kim, she's basically, you could say, the same way. Like they basically set up like, oh yeah, she's been training, you know, since she was a kid as well. If they keep going with their dojo, it's done, like, for everyone. But I definitely have to say that out of all the endings, Robbie and Tori's were definitely my favorite. Once again, there's potential right there. And I was against spinoffs originally, but looking at it now, I low-key want a Robbie and Tori spinoff. I feel like they have some unfinished business, and I'm just happy both of them got good endings after all the crap they've been going through this entire season. Like, they got sponsors, and you know, they're basically going to be millionaires together, and they're doing it together. And once again, if they keep competing and they keep going, they're going to be the best in the world as well. Like, all these characters have crazy potential. So hey man, if we get a Kinuri spinoff, I'm down. Like a 1 to 2 season one. And that's saying a lot because, like I said earlier, I was against spinoffs aside from a very possible, you know, young Mr. Miyagi prequel series, which I feel like that may happen down the road too. I know they were having early talks about that, we heard a couple months ago. So hey man, Mr. Miyagi prequel series, Kinri series, I'll be down for anything in the Miyagi verse. Overall, I was greatly satisfied with this part. And you know, while it was a little predictable with the twists and turns, and of course CK coming back, the show is what it is. And of course, it's called Cobra Kai for a reason. We all probably would have saw it coming if you could put it together. But can you imagine if we didn't get those leaks? I feel like the payoff would have been way better. And Johnny and Daniel's ending was the icing on the cake for me in that final scene. It was just beautiful. But yeah, overall, very great ending. I give it a strong 8.5 to 9 out of 10. And of course, while the last 2 episodes seemed a little, you know, rushed in terms of pacing, which I have seen people complain about, I do understand why. You know, they had a lot to wrap up in these final 2 episodes. And I'm just glad we got a satisfying ending for pretty much most of these characters. To go into it and get a little personal real quick, just to talk about the journey with this overall show. I've been obsessed with this show since 2018 when it started in YouTube Red. It's crazy how much I've been able to swing back and forth with this show. And it came out at a time where, you know, continuations for franchises, basically not everything was doing well. And it was just crazy to have a show that basically, when it came to tone, lessons, the story, it was at the time everything that I was looking for. And I feel like no show will control me like this did for the last 7 years. It's going to be really hard to find something to, you know, level this up with. But I think this will always be my day one, my comfort show that I will always come back to. And you know, while it is over, you know, it's sad, of course. I had tears in my eyes, but you know, like they say, don't be sad that it's ending. Be happy that, of course, it happened in the first place. And technically, y'all already know spin-offs. While this is the spin-off, this was the main spin-off. Spin-offs don't go for 6 seasons. So what they were able to accomplish, I'd say, is pretty damn crazy and pretty damn impressive. So overall, I just want to say thank you to everyone that was part of this show, the cast, everything. Y'all saved my life, and the people that I got to talk to and meet along the way. I mean, y'all are the best in the business. So I'm there for anything y'all do, any story y'all go with in the Miyagi verse, and I just can't wait for more. And as they say, Cobra Kai never dies.